Alright, in this video we're going to learn how to add and subtract polynomials. Alright? It does not matter if your polynomials are not in standard form. All you have to remember when we're adding and subtracting is you're going to add and subtract like terms. Alright? So cubics goes with cubics, quadratics go with quadratics, linears go with linears, constant goes with constant. Alright, so for example, since I'm adding, I can go ahead and drop all my parentheses because there's nothing in front here and it's a positive here. So I just go ahead and drop the parentheses. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So I got cubic and a cubic. So I have 3 and a 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So I got 4x cubed. Then I got quadratic and another quadratic. So I got 2 and a negative 10. So it gives me negative 8x squared. Here's the linear. That's the only one, so I don't have to worry about that. Just keep it. And then my constants. I got a negative 7 and a positive 8 gives me a plus 1. And here's my new polynomial. So we add. So let's do another addition one. Again, nothing in front, so I can drop the parenthesis. There's a plus here, so that means I can just go ahead and drop the parenthesis. Now I'm just going to combine like terms. So I always like to put my answer in standard form, so I got to take the largest term. Alright, here's a cubic. It's the only one, so I just write it. After a cubic comes a quadratic, so here's 1. It's the only one, so that's nice. After quadratic is a linear. So here's a linear and here's a linear. So 10 minus 2 is 8. And then I have a constant and a constant. So negative 3 plus 17 is a positive 14. And then here's your answer. That's a new polynomial. All right, let's look at 2 more examples. In these 2 examples, you notice we're going to be subtracting. Alright? Now, there's one extra step you have to do when you're subtracting. Again, there's nothing in front of this parenthesis, so therefore I can drop these 2 parentheses right here. Alright, but since I have a negative, there's understood to be a negative 1 here, so I got to multiply this negative 1 through this parenthesis. So as I do that, I can drop the parentheses. So negative times a positive 2 is negative 2x cubed. Negative times a positive 6 is a negative 6x squared. A negative times a negative x is a positive x. And the negative times a 1 is a negative 1. Now I just go ahead and combine like terms. So cubics. So 8 minus 2 is 6x cubed. Quadratics, I got a negative 3 and a negative 6, so that gives me a negative 9x squared. Linears, negative 2x and an x, so that gives me a negative x. And then my constants, 9 minus 1 is 8. And there I have a new polynomial. Our last example, another subtraction. All right. So again, there's nothing in front here, so I can drop the parentheses. So it'll be 2x squared plus 3x. Here I have a negative, so I must multiply it through the parentheses or distribute it. So negative times a positive is negative 3x squared. Negative 1 times a positive 1 is a negative x. And a negative 1 times a negative 4 is a positive 4.
Could you please call extension 2544? Mary Beth Banco, if you're still in the building, please call extension 2544. Thank you.
Alright, combine like terms. So here's my quadratics. So a positive 2 and a negative 3 gives me a negative 1x squared. A linear, I have a 3x and a negative x is a positive 2x. And then my constant term is a positive 4. And I'm done.